I have a question, and it's weighing on my mind and my heart and my soul. Why is everyone so fucking scared of mayonnaise? Sure, I can understand why you would be weirded out by like a tub of mayo. It's been pasteurized, it's got weird preservatives in it, who knows what kind of oil and various things they're using in there. But like fresh mayo is so good, and it's just eggs and oil. Like, do you eat eggs? Do you cook them in oil? Okay, cool. It's the same ingredients. Alright, let's get to it. Hey everyone, I'm Liv, and welcome to the Leopard Lodge. If you're new here, this is a channel dedicated to creative projects in the home. So, welcome to my new kitchen. It's still very much a work in progress. It's a very narrow space, like that is as far as it goes, and this is as far as I go, and that's what we're working with. I used to be terrified of making aioli or mayo, and I f***ed it up so many times. I used immersion blenders and a regular blender and a food processor, and I did at one point get it to a place where I could do it without failing, but it wasn't until I started doing it by hand that it felt truly fail-proof, and also, for some reason, tasted a lot better. I think that the chopping blades in a blender or like any kind of machine just somehow like change the chemistry of the egg and in like a different way than a whisk would, and it's just a different flavor. When you do it by hand, it's like it's richer. You can like taste the egg yolk, and it's just, I don't know, it's so much better. I really hope you try it. So I find that using a shallow bowl is just gonna make it a lot easier to kind of get in there and whisk, and you always want to put it on top of a towel so that it doesn't slide around. Have some lemon juice, some garlic, and of course my egg. If you've seen my fresh pasta and whiskey sour making video, you'll know that you should always wash your eggs before consuming them raw. Don't get salmonella, people. Bring your egg to room temperature before beginning this process, basically leaving it out of the fridge for about half an hour. And we're just going to start out by separating our yolk from our whites. Save that for a whiskey sour later. So one egg yolk can take about 3/4 cups of oil, and you can measure this out and stream it in, and that works great. I kind of like to just free flow with it until it gets to a consistency that I'm happy with. Sometimes I use a little bit less than 3/4 cups because I like a little bit of a richer, thicker aioli sometimes. I'm going to be using equal parts neutral oil and a olive oil that isn't too flavorful because I don't want it to taste too much like olives. To get started, I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice, just like a couple of drops. And that's just going to loosen up the egg yolks so that it can whisk a little bit easier. Here comes the fun part, the emulsification. Sometimes I find it's easier to rest the oil on the lip of the bowl so it can kind of slide into the bowl from the side and incorporate slower while I whisk. Really just starting out with a couple drops at a time. Going really, really slowly. I'm going to start streaming my oil into my egg while I'm whisking. You know you have emulsification when you have a consistent liquid, and as you're adding oil, the two don't really separate, they just go together smoothly. Once you know that you have emulsification, you can go a little bit more briskly with your oil, but like don't go crazy and just like dump all the oil in, because that's not going to work very well. Switching to olive oil. satisfied with your consistency, you're basically done. And if you do have a basic mayo, and if you want it to be kind of a classic American sandwich mayo, you can add some mustard powder, some vinegar, some salt, maybe a little white pepper, and you're gonna get that kind of flavor happening. But that is not what we are doing today. We are making aioli, and if you're going to call it aioli, you have to put garlic in it. The literal French translation is I, meaning garlic, and oli, meaning oil, and no, I am not pronouncing those correctly, but that is not the point. This, of course, makes both the word and the food a literal mashup of oil and garlic. Okay, back to the aioli. So, as per the instructions in the name, we gotta get some garlic in there. So, I'm gonna grate some garlic into the mayo. I know that I need salt and acid in here. So, I'm gonna put some lemon juice and salt, whisk it up, give it a taste, see how it is, add more ingredients, whisk it up, see how it tastes, possibly add more ingredients, whisk it up, see how it tastes, until I'm satisfied with the flavor that I've got. And I mean, sure, you could eat this out of the bowl with a spoon and I wouldn't judge you, but other people might. So we're gonna slice up some potatoes lengthwise and put them in a pot, and then cover that pot with water, and then put that on the stove and salt that water, and then we're gonna bring that up to a boil and let it boil for about 10 minutes. Strain those potatoes out and let them cool for a little bit. Then I'm gonna smash those potatoes with a flat surface. Then I'm gonna put those potatoes on a sheet tray with a generous amount of oil and whatever seasonings are speaking to me at this time. I'm gonna preheat my oven to about 375 degrees, and I'm gonna leave them in the oven for about half an hour to 40 minutes until they're nice and crispy, but still soft on the inside. I'm gonna pull those out, and I'm gonna dip them in some aioli. Perfect. Well, friends, hope you enjoyed this quick little tutorial on aioli by hand. It's not that scary. Give it a shot. Let me know if you did in the comments, and let me know what you had with it. Please subscribe, yada yada yada. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss what I do next. So many exciting projects here at the Leopard Lodge. And with that, I will say goodbye. See you next time. I need some more of this. It's delicious. It's not dinner time yet, but whatever. So good. Seeing God.